Everyone, it's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday. We are here every Wednesday around 1:30 Eastern to talk to one of our members for our member spotlight. Today we're going to be talking with Jennifer Fleck, and she's the owner of Knitwit, which is a yarn shop in Portland, Maine. So if you're curious what's going on in local yarn stores, today could be a great conversation to tune into. And hopefully Jen will be joining us shortly. I think I see her request coming in now. Got that, and hopefully Jen will pop up and we'll have an awesome chat about retail in this sort of pandemic era. Hi Jen, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. It's so beautiful behind you. It's like fall colors in
Yeah,
Maine in
exactly.
October.
Yeah, I got to spend as much time out here as I can.
Absolutely. So nice. So tell us a little bit about Knitwit just to start with. What is Knitwit? What's it all about?
Yeah, so Knitwit is a very small brick and mortar shop in downtown Portland, Maine, and it's been around since 2004. I am the third owner of it, and it's just a great little shop in a great little town. So Portland, Maine, if you haven't been there yet, is it's very much a destination town. A lot of people will come there. There's lots of great restaurants and museums and fun things to do, but it's not overwhelming and huge. So we like to say it's the biggest little city in Maine, and it's just great. So I've been having a blast running
Yeah.
this. For
My husband and I vacationed in Portland before the pandemic.
Yep.
We had a great time, and it's so charming and just a great town to visit. So totally recommend it. And as you said, there's great food, by the way, in
Yes.
Portland, and so we loved it, and also great nature as well. And so you, as you mentioned, you're the third owner. So I understand that you bought Knitwit in March, or took over ownership, I guess, in March of 2020. So that
Yeah.
was kind of a crazy moment.
That
How
was
did that go?
weird timing. Yeah, we've been in talks with the prior owner for a while, and decided that this was something we wanted to do. And we decided March 9th was going to be our closing date. It's kind of the down season in town, and we figured that's an easy time to take over. And then we had it closed for a couple of days just to get our bearings, and then I think we opened on March 13th. And then a couple days later, Portland said, nope, no more retail stores can be open. And we're like, oh my goodness, what just happened? I'm an actuary by day, so I do risk analysis for insurance companies, and pricing and so forth. And, do think about taking over, buying out different insurance companies and all those things. And, global pandemic is not something that we model very often, when coming up. Now it will be. Um, but it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
Made it through.
So
I think we're
is
stronger than ever.
yeah, is the shop back open for in-person shopping now?
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have any online presence really before I took over either. So basically, people wanted to buy from us. It was a phone call. And we were kind of walking them around what our inventory was. That really wasn't sustainable. So we got cracking on building a website, and now everything's online and people can see what we have, before they want to come in, if they still, are uncomfortable about spending lots of time in different spots, in public. So
That's great. And so tell us about some of the yarn assortment that you have. Kind of what is your specialty? What are your tastes? What are you most excited about when it comes to the yarns that you carry?
yeah, so we are Quince and Company's original flagship store. So we have a really big selection of their yarns. They are also here right in the Portland area as their home office. So it's great. We love working with those guys. Um, and so we have a lot of their stuff. We also recently launched our own yarn line. So we've got what we call a main yarn from Knitwit.
Oh,
And we've got a
wow.
bunch of different colors that are kind of meant to remind you of your vacation in Maine.
I love
So this is
that.
this is lupin here. It is, in the spring you'll see a lot of, I don't know how good the coloring's coming through.
Yeah.
It's just purples and
Yeah.
greens. Coming as you drive around up here in Maine, you'll see a lot of this beautiful purple flower just wild on the side of the roads. Um, We've got stuff like leaf peepers for this time of year. So,
Oh yeah, looks just like if you
yep,
hold it up, it's like your background.
right.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of those meant to um, just remind you of your time here. Um, what's this one? Sunset on the beach. So all kinds of lobster rolls, one of our more popular ones. Uh, that looks like a lobster roll basically.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, we have a
that's
lot of fun
awesome.
coming up with those colors. The other thing we have a lot of is kind of Maine-based yarns. So as you walk through our shop, you'll see anything with a little red lobster on the tag shows that it was made here, either a Maine-based company or an indie dyer from this area. And so we try to find a lot of kind of cool different things that are kind of special to Maine. Um,
Yeah, I love that. And there's nothing better when you're on vacation or visiting a town to be able to go to the local shop and buy something that's truly special that you're not going to find back at home.
right.
That's like a memento, whatever you knit from it or crochet from it, you're going to
Yep.
always be reminded of that place and that time in your life. And that's like what handmade's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We also have a bunch of kind of our workhorse yarns. Quince has a lot of good workhorse yarns if you just want to make, your basic worsted weight sweater. But we also have a bunch from, say, Barocco. We've got a lot of their, base yarns. So if, local people just aren't looking for their vacation destination yarn, they're just, they want to make a nice sweater. So we've got a lot of those yarns too.
And are you teaching classes at all, either now or hope to in the
Um,
future?
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. We do have a class coming up, one on beading with Laura Nelkin. It's going to be
Oh
a
yeah,
just beading 101s. I love beading yarn, and I think it just makes your shawls and your sweaters just gives it that little extra touch of something special.
yeah,
And so I've been following her designs for many years before I owned the shop. So I thought I'd bring that in. I have a selection of beads now in the shop. The other thing we're doing is we've got her kits for the Kairos cowl and shawl. That's coming up in a couple weeks. It's a knit along, and we're going to have a free like Zoom meeting with her if you get the kit with us, and she'll give us tips and tricks to get started. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what's the right blend of in person and Zoom meetings, and Zoom
yeah,
meetings have definitely opened it up so we could get designers from all over and teachers from all over to come into our shop and teach with us. Come in virtually. But we're still trying to figure out people's comfort level with in person and
yeah,
how
absolutely.
sick they are of Zoom meetings too.
It's great to have that, yeah, that Zoom option. I mean, there's more options now, which is honestly a silver lining of this whole last 18 months or whatever
Yeah.
it's been. So, and how did you learn how to, I don't know if you knit or crochet, but how did you learn how to do those things?
I've always been crafty. I did. I kind of learned as a kid, and then I stepped away from it for a while. But when I was living in Connecticut, there was a shop there called Creative Fibers. And I walked in there one day, and I'm like, I want to do this again. And the owner there, Laura, she was great. Brought me in and taught me what I needed to do to get started again. And it's just kind of, she's been sort of my inspiration in opening the shop and, having that ability to keep spreading the word, because I think it's great. It's been a great way to get us through the pandemic, and anybody who's got, general stress, once you get past that learning to knit stress, which some people get, some people don't, it's just a great way to just keep your hands busy, engage your mind, and not freak out about anything else going on in the world.
Absolutely. And it's so nice that a local yarn shop owner was the person who helped you get reintroduced to knitting and showed you what you needed and how to do what you wanted to do. And I think that that's such the role that a local brick and mortar can
Yeah,
play in people's lives, because you can walk in and get immediate access to expertise like that.
right, exactly.
Wonderful.
So,
All right. So if people are traveling to Portland sometime in the next year or two, where should they go? And if they can't go to Portland but want to support you online, where should they go?
yeah, so we have got a website. It's knitwitportland.com. And from there, you can get to all kinds of, we've got some tutorials out there. If you click the shop button on top, you'll get to our whole online store where you can see all of our inventory and what we have. There's also a link there to our podcast. So we have a podcast called Main Yarn. So just if you want to hear
I
me.
love that. What is the show about? Is it about Maine yarn producers or?
It's just about me and my friend who live in Maine talking about our knitting, you know.
Awesome.
So it's kind of just meant to be, you know, if you can't be with your knitting group, put it on in the background and we'll be your knitting group with you.
I love that.
So yeah, and then, you know, tips and tricks and there's a travel section because we like traveling too, you know, so where we've been and different things we found while we're out. So that link is on our on the website at knitwitportland.com as well.
Okay, super. And what is your address in Portland, Maine, if people want to swing by in person?
Yeah, it's 247A Congress Street in Portland. So it's downtown on the peninsula. If you're coming on a cruise, you can walk there from the cruise ship. So
Perfect. That is so great. Well, next time I'm in Portland, which I'm hoping to be back because I had so much fun the last time I went, I will definitely stop in and say hello in person. And thank you so much, Jen, for joining us today in this member spotlight.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay, bye everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Take care.